Hello, this is Jenny from Designs of Paper. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have an art journal video for you, and I will be working from this mood board created by Mike Deacon for the Artsy Trio Facebook group. To begin with, I went through my scrapbook paper, the drawer with all my browns in it, and found this herringbone pattern paper. So, ta-da, of course I'm going to use it, right? I have inked up the edges with some crumb cake ink from Stampin' Up! And I pulled out this W+9 autumn leaf stamp, and I will be using the solid image, fern leaf, and maple leaf to create some texture for the background of my page. I am stamping mostly in the top left corner and the bottom right corner. I say mostly because I come just shy of creating an entire border, but there are parts of the edge that I did not stamp leaves on. Let me talk about this Facebook group just a little bit. This is a new Facebook group. It was started by Mike Deacon of the UK, Gina Ahrens from the United States, and Beat Grob from Switzerland. All three are YouTube content creators, and they all do varying types of mixed media art. If you are not familiar with their channels, I will link them down below so that you can check them out. I will also link in the information box the link to the Facebook group. So if you are interested, go check them out. I have been watching Mike Deacon's videos for years, many years, and participating in his Mission Inspiration Challenges as well. I have seen a few of Gina Ahrens' pages and videos rather, and some of Bee's pages, and they're all wonderful artists. So I've kind of sort of finished up with the fern leaf now, and I'm going to add some of the smaller maple leaf images to this. And you can see I'm still mostly just a swag. I'm not all the way around the page for a full border yet, but it is getting there. I'm just kind of filling in the corners now. I have chosen a quote from my Pinterest board, my Pinterest quote board, that is very fall or autumn related because the images in this mood board were mostly autumn. That's kind of where my brain went. I have printed this quote out on a piece of paper and then cut it with a die I have that makes it look like torn paper. Every time I try to just tear the paper, I mess stuff up. So I just found these dies on Amazon and I use those. Now I have placed it here and then I'm adding these stamps over the top of it because I want to add a couple of leaf stamps to the background that look like they're coming from behind this page. And that's really important because of the rest of my focal layer are die cut leaves and such. So I wanted to kind of have a little bit of texture peeking out from behind my quote. My quote says, "And the sun took a step back. The leaves lulled themselves to sleep, and autumn awakened." And it is from Raquel Franco. There we go. So I have now pulled out my little tray of yumminess. I used my Spellbinders Vicky Papanayu Fall Birdhouse die set to cut out the leaves, acorns, and sunflowers in 3 or 4 different shades of yellow, green, and orange. And my plan here, and I have super sped this up because even after I thought I was done editing this video, it went on and on and on and on. My plan is to take these leaves and create kind of an L swag for my quote block to sit on. And I have multiple colors of yellow, red, orange, and green, like I said, and I cut each of the dies out in all of the colors. So I have a wide variety to choose from. Now, my intent was to have this look very, I can't say natural because leaves don't grow in an L-shaped vine, right? But I didn't want it to look like I had systematically placed one maple leaf here, one this leaf, one aspen leaf here, one whatever the leaves are called. Oak leaf, there's the other one. I didn't want it to look like I had systematically placed all the leaves in a specific place. I did want it to look kind of spontaneous and natural. But my brain has a hard time with that. And I have all of these leaves sitting on my desk. So my brain is saying, use all the leaves, use all the leaves. And so I really had to get to a point where I had to do a hard stop. And it is not where you think it is. But I did kind of fidget and fuss. I tried to prevent having 2 leaves of the exact same color side by side and 2 leaves of the same shape too close together. I tried. I do like how it turned out in the end, but I really fidgeted and fussed at this for a hot minute. I think most of the video footage is me doing this right here. So you're welcome. I sped it up for you. So if you have seen any card making videos by Jennifer McGuire, you are familiar with Glad Press and Seal. Glad Press and Seal allows you to place this little piece of plastic film down on top of your die cut design and lift them all up in one piece together. Now, because I had multiple layers of leaves, I thought about it probably be wiser to pick the scrap of paper up off, not first, as opposed to pulling the film off the top. But now I can add glue to the back of all of these leaves and my sentiment piece there. I'm using Tombow Mono multi-glue because you only need a tiny bit, and it comes out, now that it's half gone, it comes out at the perfect level. When it's a new bottle, it does kind of come out fast. But I can go ahead and put a dot of glue on the back of all of these leaves and the back of my quote sheet, which you can see is recycled paper because paper has two sides, so use them both. I will go ahead and put my page down and lift that film up, and I'll be able to flip it over and lay it right back down where I had it. And theoretically, everything stays intact. Now, because I did have some multiple layers, there were a few that did not get glue on them that came off that I went and put back in. But as you can see, almost all of them, I think I had 2 that had glue on them that didn't stay down at first, and then 2 that didn't get any glue on them at all that I had to put back in. So, but Press and Seal, it is not only for your kitchens, ladies and gentlemen, it also belongs in your craft room. It is amazing. So you can see that I have one little green one that flipped kind of off the page up there. It's already got glue on the back of it. I don't know if you saw that flip off the screen or not. Anyway, I will go ahead and put that back down where I think it came from. And then there is an orange one or a yellow one right here that also needs a little bit more pressure. And then I just picked up the page and kind of flipped it over and found 2 more that did not have any glue on them at all. I am going to go ahead and pull out my cross tweezers, my reverse tweezers, add a dot of glue, and add those leaves to wherever it is I think they fell off. And you would think this is the point where I stop fiddling with those leaves. You would think that. The normal person's brain would say, hey, good enough, move on. But no. My brain saw the pile of leaves still on my desk and said, hey, you should add more of those. So that's what I did. I added more of those, and I sped it up so you didn't have to watch me do that in real life motion either. I don't know what it was. I thought it looked really nice when I was done, and then when I flipped it over, I saw there were there's holes. I have to fill all the holes. There's leaves on my desk. I have to use all the leaves. My brain was like in this crazy thought process of use them all, use them all. I don't know. I do like how it turned out. So my brain was probably right. But to be fair, I liked how it was when I put the press and seal down over the top of it too. So who knows? Excuse me. We are high into fall allergy season where I live, and it is creating havoc on my throat, my voice, on the everythings. Anyways, eventually, I promise, I stop adding leaves to this poor little art journal page. And I will move on to add the acorns. Now I cut out 2 of these acorns in 2 different colors of paper and then just swap the tops and bottoms so they're a little bit opposite each other. And I am just going to add them right down here in this bottom corner on top of my pile of leaves. Just as a little bit of a nod to, yes, you're getting finished, Jenny. Stop adding more leaves. I have also cut out 3 sunflowers. Now, in reality, I cut out 6 sunflowers and double layered them, but I have 3 sunflowers, and I am going to add 1 right down here by my acorns, and then I will add the other 2 to the top right-hand side of that quote block. And I'm getting to the point where I feel like I'm finished. I think I'm finished. My brain says I should be finished, but as you already know, 2 parts of my brain, they fight with each other. And I am not kidding you. I sat here and looked at that pile of leaves on my desk and contemplated how many more leaves I could put on this page. For real. How many more leaves? I did pick up a couple of green ones to stick behind the sunflowers because, you know, flowers have to have their leaves, right? But I just couldn't stop adding leaves to this page. I I don't know. My brain was in tug of war with itself as I was creating this page. I like how the page turned out. I feel like if I had stopped when I thought I should be done, I might not like it as much, but I do like the page. The only thing I have left to do is write my name at the bottom, sign my name, and I will go ahead and date it as October 1st because that is when I shot this footage, and the art journal page is finished. So let me know what you, oh, it is not finished. I forgot. So this is just scrapbook paper. I have got to find something to put it on. And because I cannot leave anything alone, I have an entire cubby of cereal boxes and cracker boxes. So I am going to use the cardboard from this cereal box as the backing to my scrapbook page. I am not sure why I left this in. You do not need to see me cut down a cereal box, but you get to today. I will go ahead and trim this down, and then I am going to use a tape runner to glue my art journal page to one side of this cereal box. And as you can see, there's already tape runner on it. And then I decided I needed it to be liquid so that I could move it around and make sure I got it to lay flat. I didn't want to pull out the matte gel that I usually use because the ink I used was not archival or waterproof. So I am just going to go with Tombow glue and glue it to this cereal box. And then I will trim it back down. I contemplated for a minute trying to line it up, and then I realized I did not even attempt to cut this straight. I just was cutting it down. So I'm just going to lay it down and smooth it out really nice and get it good and flat. I did make sure and put the glue as close to the edges as I could get it, and I will just turn it over and really rub the back side of that cardboard really, really well. And now I can pull my scissors out. Actually, I'm going to pull out my trimmer, my Fiskars trimmer, because with the wire guide on that, I can line it right up to the edge of my scrapbook paper, my page, and just trim the rest of that cardboard right off. Yeah, I'm not sure why you needed to see that I ate, 45 boxes of Special K at one point in time. But I have a whole cubby full of cereal and cracker boxes to use for chipboard. So recycle, right? We have to recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Now that I have this trimmed down, I am going to pull out the other piece or the other part of that piece of herringbone scrapbook paper and put that on the back side of this page because, you don't want to have cereal looking at you every time you look through your art journal page rather. I am going to go ahead and add some distress ink to the edge of this. I'm not sure why I pulled out the distress ink instead of the ink I already had on my desk. It's not quite the same brown. It has a little bit more red in it. Maybe that's what my brain was thinking. I don't know. Or maybe I thought because this ink sponge thingy would be easier than the blending brush I used before. I don't know. Brain is fighting. We're just going with brain is fighting. We're hoping that October is a better month for us than September was. September was a little rough in our house. And here is where I pull out the other half of that piece of paper, and it got a little bit of a wet spot. I had tossed a baby wipe down on top of it, and I'm going to just use my tape runner, and I'm going to go right on the edge of the cardboard. And I am working on my Teflon craft mat, so anything that sticks to it, I can wipe right up. And I am going to take this scrapbook paper and lay it right down in the corner. And then I will be able to trim that off with either a pair of scissors or my trimmer. I don't honestly remember which one I pulled out. And lucky for me, that wet spot was just off the top of my art journal page. Just barely made it. It's really funny because I have a bowl on my desk for baby wipes and cloths and my microfiber rags to go in. I still missed, and it landed on this piece of paper. But it did not become a disaster. It is a win-win. On the back side of this art journal page, I am going to put the mood board picture that I cut out so that I can remember what prompted this art journal page. I did decide to go ahead and ink those pages, or those edges up just a little bit since the ink sponge was still on the blending tool was still on my desk. I didn't pull the ink pad back out. There's plenty of ink in this to clean up the edge. And I'm just going to finish that up and go ahead and adhere the mood board picture right on the back of this page. It has already got tape runner on it. So So I can just stick it down right there in the middle. I am also going to label this page as October 2021 because this is the October mood board. I will eventually punch some holes in this and create an art journal book for it to reside in. I don't know what other word that could be. Reside, occupy. Anyway, I will go ahead right here and label this with my pen, October 2021. And now the page is complete. Let me know what you think about this art journal page, and please do check out the Facebook group and the YouTube channels of the creators. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me babble about leaves and allergies and all the other nonsense. Do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know how you feel about this. I have chosen a couple other videos for you to watch. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe. Thanks.